Hey there YouTube, what's up? Big Stack McGee here with another silver video for you. Tonight I want to talk about how to keep track of your silver stack. If you're anything like me, you've been obsessing recently with his dips in the precious metals prices on trying to find great deals on silver and whatnot. In fact, for the last 6 months since I started stacking, that's been on my mind. I spent a lot of time searching online for deals and visiting my local coin shop, etc. But I realized early on how important it was to keep track of all my purchases for several different reasons, whether it's for tax purposes, whether it's for just your overall sense of where you're at in this thing. But if you're watching this video, you probably agree that that's an important thing as well. I like to use a spreadsheet to keep track of my purchases. I use Microsoft Excel. I know that Google Documents has a nice free one. If you go to Google Drive and sign up for an account, you can use that. But the kind of things that I'll do is when I make a purchase, I'll record the date and as well as what I got. If I'm ordering, like let's say I make an order online and I buy 5 different kinds of things, I'll put a different entry in for each one of those things so I can track them independently, because some of the values of those might be different as time goes on. I'll want to mention where I bought the item, as well as how much each individual item cost. If I ordered something online and it had to be shipped, I'll divvy up that shipping cost through each item. Or if say you had to pay tax, I would try to do the same kind of thing. In addition to every purchase, and keep an entry of that, there's a few easy cumulative things that you can do as well to keep track ongoing. One of the things that you want to keep track of is what is your total ounces that you have. Of course, if you have just silver, you can keep track of that. If you have silver, platinum, gold, etc., you can keep different categories and know where you're at with your total stack. But in addition to that, you also want to know your total cost. How much have you spent along the way in fiat to be able to obtain the precious metals that you have? And that's great and everything, but the real picture that we're hoping to get, I think, when you look at your spreadsheet and keeping track of this is, what is everything worth? And there's 2 different versions that I think we should keep in mind. What is the melt value of everything? Especially if you're, got just straight up bars or bullion. How much is it going to cost if you were to just take this into your local coin shop or even your scrapper and get silver spot price for it? And then, of course, some of us have accumulated, whether it's semi-numismatic items or fully numismatic items, graded, slabbed coins, things like that. Those things are going to have not only premiums attached when we purchase it, but you can kind of bank on the fact that they should have a premium when you look to sell it as well. So your spreadsheet should have some information included onto a difference between that. And I'm going to show you an easy way, at least on Microsoft Excel, to be able to do just that. So now what we're going to do is open up our Excel file, and I have a file here just started. Alright, so I have here a version of a spreadsheet. This is similar to the one that I keep. This has some items that I purchased over the last couple months as just a sample to give you guys an idea. There's a spot here to put the silver spot price, and I update this anytime I look at my spreadsheet to reflect whatever the current spot is at. I have a column that shows purchase dates, as well as the number of ounces purchased. In this case, it's all silver. If I did have gold, I'd have another column here, so that I would keep track of that separately. I have the description of the items that I purchased, as well as where they're from. In this case, last couple of months, I've purchased mostly from either Goldmart or Provident, and a few times from eBay. Then I have a column for the cost. I made sure that, like, let's say this time here where I purchased 5 things from Provident, I took whatever the shipping charge was and I just kind of added it equally to the items that I purchased. If you have to pay tax for your silver as well, you're going to want to make sure you add that on. And then current value, this column here, there's a couple of different things that we'll show you here. If it's a straight up bullion purchase, basically what it is, it's going to be your ounces times whatever the spot price is at, and that gives you your value. Of course, if there's any kind of numismatic premium attached to your purchases, then you're going to want to be able to reflect that in this column, and I'll show you in a little bit how I do that. Going here to the bottom, total number of ounces. In this last couple months, I've purchased a little over 64 ounces, and I paid, in this case, $32.20 per ounce, which Well, it kind of hurts to look at that, especially knowing that silver spot price is at $23 and some change today. But that's one of the things you want to keep track of here. Over here, total cost, basically everything in this column. And I'm just going to show you how that works for just a second. So I'm going to click on this cell here, and you'll notice up here there's an equal sign. Sum, which means it's going to add up whatever's in here. And if I click on that, it shows this blue box. Anything I put in here in terms of a cost is going to add together and give me that total $2,000 basically for those purchases. If I go back over to total ounces, equal sign indicating there's going to be a formula. Sum is going to add up whatever's in here. The blue, so whatever I have for ounces shows up here. And then my total cost per ounce, if I look at there, E25, which is this value, divided by B25, which is my value here. So cost divided by ounces gives me cost per ounce. And that changes as my information up here changes. You get the gist. And the last two things I'm going to point out here, total value including premium and total value at melt value. If I were to take everything that I purchased and just scrap it all and just want to get as close as I can to silver spot price, I can expect to get about $1,500 back, which is, it's about a 25% discount from what I paid for it because of the dip in prices right now. But if I were to try to sell it individually to people to try to get as much as I can back, including premiums, I can expect to get about $180 more. And so that's why I keep track of all that different information. I'm just going to show you kind of how I keep track of the premium values as they change here. Let's use this Libertad purchase here from Provident. I paid $34.39. And according to this column, it's worth today about $26.21, which is, of course, higher than what the melt value is at. So how do I do that? Well, if I look here, it's showing that, again, equals sum. I'm going to add the spot price plus a premium of $3 for the Libertad, which is, kind of about what I assume, whether for a government minted round like a Libertad or a Silver Eagle or a Maple Leaf or something like that. And then, of course, I have that multiplied by the quantity, in this case, 1. If I were to go and change the Libertad and say, let's pretend I got 3 of them, and I enter that, you'll notice over here the current value went up to $78.63. Again, the spot price plus $3 multiplied by the quantity. And you'll also notice down here that the total ounces went up to 66. So the spreadsheet's working like it's supposed to. All right, I'm going to go ahead and change that back to 1. Okay, next I want to just show you, let's go back to these eBay purchases. I ordered some 90% silver here, 20 silver quarters and 50 mercury dimes, both of which are basically $5 face value purchase. But how do I come up with the number of ounces to put in? I have here 3.617 for both. Well, to get that information, I turn to coinflation.com, one of my favorite websites, to look at for not only, you could look at prices of copper, zinc, nickel, in other words, whatever current clad coins are worth. And then, of course, the silver coin prices, which is all this information right here. I'm going to go up to CoinCalculators, choose Silver Coin Melt Value Calculator. One of my purchases was for 20 Washington quarters. So I'm going to enter that here. Of course, if you have any other kinds of silver coins, you can pull down from the menu. Silver spot price, $23.21. I'm going to submit. It shows me what the value is of the silver in those coins. But this is the information that I'm looking for to put in my spreadsheet. It says there are 3.617 troy ounces of silver in 20 silver Washington quarters. So I take that information and I plug it right back in over here, which shows me the silver content in ounces, troy ounces, for 90% silver coins. Very useful in keeping track on your spreadsheet. And of course that reflects over here. If I go over here, I have my spot price times the quantity. That gives me $83.95. Again, down from where I purchased it at. So let's go back and look at one more thing over here. Cost per ounce. Again, I mentioned that really stinks that it's at $32.20 for my purchases from the last couple of months. Truth be told, with the since I started about 6 months ago, my true cost per ounce right now is right around $33.50. But let's say I want to make a pretty significant purchase, take advantage of the silver dips that are going on right now, and I want to see where that's going to put me at. Let's say I went to Provident right now, and I looked, and right now they have 10-ounce generic bars for $250, which is a great deal, 25 bucks an ounce. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to copy this. I have an example right here. I'm going to copy this into my spreadsheet and see where this puts us at. Check out total ounces and cost per ounce as I put this in here. Now notice, at $250 a piece, it gives me a cost of $1,250. Well, look what that does. My total ounces go up, and my cost per ounce drops to $29.05. It's a fantastic change in the amount you spend per ounce of silver. And let's show how we calculate what the current value would be. So I'm going to go into this cell. I'm going to add an equal sign, and I want the silver spot price. I'm going to multiply that by the number of ounces, which in this case will be 50. And you'll see that as of today, 50 ounces of silver at $23.21 in spot price yields a value of $1,160.50. So you can basically spend $1,250 today at Provident and get this in return. Of course, you're hoping that the silver spot price eventually will go up. Well, right now, again, my cost per ounce is at a much more reasonable $29 an ounce, hoping that that will appreciate in value throughout time. Shows my total cost at $3,300 and the total value including premiums and total value at melt. Well, let's just throw a hypothetical out there. Boy, it wasn't too long ago, about 4 months ago, we were saying about $34 an ounce. Let's just see if we were back right there. $34 an ounce. Let's see how this affects everything. Well, you look back over here, and now you can see that because I made these nice purchases here where the spot price was down, my cost per ounce remains the same. But now look at the values. Even the melt value at $3,800 is about $500 more than what I paid for. You're basically getting a nice return on some of these later investments comparatively to the ones that you purchase at a higher spot, but you're bringing your cost per ounce down. That's one of the great reasons that we keep track of this kind of information on a spreadsheet. Well, there you have it, folks. This is basically how I have my personal spreadsheet set up. If I want to add to this, all I have to do is to create space. I'm just going to right click on a selected spot here and put insert and shift down, and it creates more room. If I click on one of these cells here, you'll notice that indeed whatever's in this blue box gets added up. And so you can verify that all of your ounces and whatever your information you need to track is going to continue to be tracked. Well, that's about it. Hopefully from watching this, you get an idea of how simple it is to effectively keep track of the various aspects of your silver stack, as well as the power of having this information right at your fingertips. This is Big Stack McGee. Please like and subscribe. Feel free to share. Please leave a comment if you find this information helpful, or leave a comment if there's other things that you guys keep track of in regards to stacking. I'd love to hear. Hopefully everyone's had a chance to acquire several ounces at these low silver prices. And remember, it doesn't matter if you stack it high or stack it deep, as long as you keep on stacking. You guys have a great night. Take care.